What's up everybody, this is Han and I hope everyone is staying safe out there. Today I'm going to be doing a camera comparison between Realme X7 Pro and Oneplus Nord. All of these images were taken in auto mode because I think high number of users use their smartphone camera in auto mode. Let's start with portrait photos or bokeh, whatever you say. Okay, Oneplus Nord is an affordable OnePlus device, but this is one of the most expensive mid-range cause almost all the other Snapdragon 765G smartphones are cheaper than OnePlus Nord. However, OnePlus offers better stock camera experience in its Oxygen OS and here I see no difference. Look at the hair of the model. I see more details and textures. Now check forehead and face of the model. Yeah, once again, it is clear that OnePlus Nord produced something better. But when it comes to edge detection, both failed to detect hair strains perfectly. In terms of bokeh effect, both did very good. Creamy bokeh without insane background separation. Both did very well. Realme X7 Pro chose to go for a bit overexposure and brightness. On the other hand, OnePlus Nord kept skin tone correct. Skin smoothing beauty effect of Realme X7 Pro makes this a bit soft. Also, look at the color of that tank top. And I can see true to life color tone and more textures on the image produced by OnePlus Nord. Time for ultra-wide lens daytime pictures, and it's no surprise but both of these two smartphones can take good quality ultra-wide photos during the day. And I don't think there is a huge or drastic difference between these two. However, there are differences and they do perform different in some different conditions based on a few factors. You must understand that both of these two got the same 8 megapixel sensors under their ultra-wide lens. I can say both offers images that is sharp, full of detail and dynamic range, but after snapping and checking almost 100 pictures side by side, I found some key differences: white balance, color tone and sharpness. Exposure is also an issue on both of these X7 Pro and Nord. OnePlus Nord usually ends up with the brightest overall image, which I think a lot of people appreciate straight out of the camera, and dynamic range of OnePlus Nord is way better than Realme X7 Pro. On the other hand, X7 Pro goes a little dark, especially in ultra-wide shots, which can be tuned and edited later on. Anyway, it's like any other camera comparison. This will be a preference thing for sure. It depends on what you prefer. But that flagship class color rendering and dynamic range, you cannot edit that. That is perfectly amazing for a mid-range smartphone, but that white balance of Nord, like other OnePlus devices, is really not that good and hurts a lot. As I have mentioned about the white balance and tone, Realme X7 Pro and OnePlus Nord white balance changes randomly. It jumps back and forth, and that heavy darker tone on Realme X7 Pro widen the difference. I am really not that surprised to see this white balance issue on Nord. OnePlus 8 Pro got this issue, but this saturation issue is surprising. You won't find it on all the images. It's like a random puzzle. Sometimes it's there and sometimes not. If you don't know yet, then okay. OnePlus Nord comes with older Sony IMX586 sensor and Realme X7 Pro comes with newer Sony IMX686. However, stock camera application matters, and check this cropped in image. Check the structural details at the background, sky and clouds, then check the skin of the model. Do you see the differences? Even at a glance, OnePlus Nord looks better to me. What do you think? I know there are fanboys around and they may argue that one image means nothing. Here is another cropped in image and the differences are visible. For sure, Realme has really improved its stock camera with improved texture processing and color rendering, but still inferior to OnePlus. Wider dynamic range, almost perfect exposure, great details, sharpness and details in the shadows. Everything is better on OnePlus Nord, but there is an issue. I think you already know about that. When you check the skin tone of the model, then you can see the difference. Sometimes it seems Nord is a bit too aggressive, which is very unlikely for any OnePlus smartphones. I won't lie, truly I'm surprised. I really don't know why Nord unnecessarily saturated the colors, but considering the condition and performance of 6 other mid-range smartphones, I would say OnePlus Nord main sensor performance is within the top 3, while Realme X7 Pro main sensor performance would get an above mediocre tag. Once again, a lot depends on personal preference, a lot depends on what you do with the pictures you take with your smartphones. It's like, do you want a social media ready image or do you want an image to print in high resolution? There are a lot of questions that you need to answer before you get to any verdict. But I would stick to OnePlus Nord as I found more details and textures which cannot be added while editing a photo. Both of these two smartphones comes with 4 sensors at the back, and if you ask me, then I would say 2 of those sensors are truly useless marketing gimmick without a telephoto lens. Rear camera setup is not that attractive. Okay, that's too much as a statement, but these photos are 2x digital zoom images, and all the traits and attributes of the main sensor auto mode photos are available in these. There are not much of a difference, but if we crop in, then it seems like OnePlus Nord has less noise and grains. Textures and details are a bit sharper than Realme X7 Pro. Dynamic range on Realme X7 Pro seems better on 2x digital zoom images. Surely, it's an issue of the camera application, and with new updates, things will get better on the main sensor. Yeah, white balance and saturation is an issue on Realme X7 Pro ultra-wide lens when you try to take images in an indoor environment under low light. Both of these offers similar type of details and sharpness. However, with better white balance, OnePlus Nord easily beats X7 Pro. Also, if you check carefully, then you will find some noise and grains in X7 Pro images. Now, truly a lot depends on personal preferences, and as white balance and saturation jumps back and forth without any trend, some may say OnePlus Nord is better and some would say Realme X7 Pro. White balance and color tone along with saturation issue, after checking 100 images side by side and after taking photos in different lighting condition, I gave up. In auto mode, you really cannot control these. But one thing made me happy is the performance of Realme X7 Pro. You have seen that in ultra-wide shots, white balance was really awful, but in main sensor, that is barely noticeable. OnePlus Nord performed really well, identified well-lit areas and shadows correctly, and then maintained selective exposure to make an overall brighter and better image with better color rendition. On the other hand, Realme X7 Pro sometimes gets back to its old mode, aggressive color grading with saturation and poor exposure with white balance put it in the back foot. It is no secret, and it is very difficult to disagree that OnePlus offers better nightscape on night mode photos with its better post-processing. OnePlus offers one of the best denoising algorithm and exposure management. It detects well-lit areas in the darkness and uses its software to get the perfect balance between contrast and vibrance. It offers true black and gets the most details in the shadows possible. Actually, I did not expect this much from OnePlus Nord, and now I can say the price of OnePlus Nord is justified, cause it is not in the same league with other mid-range smartphones. It offers more details and textures with brightness that we all look in any night mode photos, and having OIS makes it easy to take long exposure shots without any blurriness. Moving on to the selfie camera, first let's check the front camera video. Yes, Samara the model forgot that OnePlus Nord comes with dual selfie sensors. One is wide angle and another is the main usual mode, so she recorded the video and took the pictures with that main front sensor. Nord continues to produce results that is close to reality and true to life. Realme X7 Pro has some beauty effect and saturation issue. Details and sharpness is almost similar. Also, I don't see any drastic difference in white balance. OnePlus Nord selfie performance is more natural. Skin tone is close to reality and background have way more details. Yes, when I've done the camera comparison between Realme X2 Pro and X7 Pro, then X2 Pro did better on selfie mode, and now OnePlus Nord did far better than X7 Pro. Color tone, details and sharpness is really better on OnePlus Nord. I'm really surprised to see that Realme X7 Pro sometimes misses the exposure and contrast when there is harsh lighting at the background. This is a bit frustrating and confusing for me. Things are no different in selfie portrait, and I'm sure, like Samara, the model, most of the girls would choose the pictures on the left. But people like me who prefers images which are true to life would go for the pictures taken by Nord. Better edge detection, better creamy bokeh effect, better color grading. Okay, almost everything is better on the portrait photos on the right. Only if Nord could produce better exposure and white balance, then it would be in the flagship league. These videos were recorded at 1080p 30 frames per second and things are better on OnePlus Nord. Yeah, having OIS matters. Natural color tone, stabilization and overall, of course, this 1080p clip on the right is way better than the clip on the left. More details, higher sharpness, true to life tone and more textures. OnePlus Nord also have better white balance and I have no problem to say Nord is better on 1080p video recording. Now when we jump to 4K 30 frames per second, OnePlus Nord gets a bit saturated and that is not very true to life. This made me confused whether to choose X7 Pro or Nord. But make no mistake, OnePlus Nord still have better white balance and more details in the shadows. Stabilization is also arguably better on OnePlus Nord. Anyway, time to wrap up and I think OnePlus Nord did great. Considering price tag and main sensor, it seems like I wanna go for X7 Pro cause there is room for improvement through updates. What do you think? Please don't forget to make a comment. If you have liked this video then please click on the like button and subscribe to this channel.